So when you look at the back of your shampoo bottle, it likely has the instructions lather, rinse, repeat. Well, that is fine for your hair, but not for your life. If you're struggling with confused or negative thoughts and issues in your relationships, or notice that the same problems keep happening over and over again, my next guest says you are likely suffering from the boomerang effect. Dr. Nicola Bird has written this terrific book. It's called The Boomerang Effect, How You Can Take Charge of Your Life. She joins us this morning to share her insight with us. Good morning to you, Nicola.
Good morning, Danielle. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And I know you're going to talk about gaining control, but why do we lose control in the first place?
Well, life is challenging. We all experience problems. Things like difficult situations, difficulties in our relationships, messy emotions, body image issues, which we're all familiar with as females for sure. And we can't control these things. Life is unpredictable, it's random. We can never know when stresses are going to occur, but we certainly know they will. We wish they wouldn't, but they certainly do. But when we all break it down, we can focus on the things around us, the external things that are happening, what people are doing to us. But if we break it down, it comes back to our emotions and how we are responding
to those
emotions. And the world is simply triggering those emotions. So the only thing that we can really master in life is our emotions, and they're messy. And when we don't have the proper techniques in place to manage our emotions, we can feel out of control.
But is that why we do keep making the same mistakes over and over again?
Absolutely, because we don't have the right techniques to cope with those emotional challenges. But the good news is we can actually learn them.
Well, you know, in the book, you write about the fighter, the hider, and the runner. All of these are really emotional responses to situations. But why are these emotional responses wrong?
Well, we have a biological stress response that we're just born with. Most people are familiar with fight, flight, and the less familiar, freeze. So it's how we cope with life and protect ourselves. We avoid things when they're challenging. We fight to overcome. And because they're so ingrained, they become part of how we think and reason in this world. So they become part of how we talk in our mind and our self-talk. So when it comes to the emotional level, it'll cause more problems than they fix, and they'll enmesh us more in the problem, although we will still continue to rely on them and overuse them. And that's what creates the boomerang effect, where the vicious thing
keeps going over and over again. And that's why, you know, I like the title of the book, The Boomerang Effect, because you throw it and it comes right on
right back around
to you. How do we free ourselves?
Good question. There are three things that we can do. One, we can start to be more aware of our patterns and pay more attention to ourselves, and that's the first step. And the second step is finding good techniques and tools to manage those emotions. The next thing is focus more inside of ourselves rather than the world around us and what people and things are happening to us.
That's hard to do. That's hard.
But that's the way, the only thing we can ever control is our emotions, and even though they're really difficult, we have to bring some of that attention back, because it's really easy to get caught up in what's going on around us. And last of all, we can do more self-care. And we can seem really overwhelming, but just start with 5 minutes. You can just do 5 minutes to take time to breathe, to take care of yourself, to decompress, and never beat up on yourself.
I think that's a great point, because I think especially as women, we tend to do that. We beat up on ourselves an awful lot.
A lot, and that's a major point. Self-compassion.
Love that. And so what is the takeaway? What would you like to leave our viewers with who right now may have thrown that boomerang out and it's come right back to them?
We can appreciate ourselves. Every day, take just that little 5 minutes to think of 3 qualities that you appreciate in yourself. 2, back to never beat up on yourself. Be kind, be compassionate, and especially when we make a mistake. And third of all, comes back to that self-compassion. We hear about being compassionate to other people, but we need to turn it around and be compassionate to ourselves like we would to another friend.
Nicola, great conversation. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you, Danielle. Great to be here.
And once again, the book is called The Boomerang Effect, How to Take Charge of Your Life. For more information on Nicola or the book, please visit the website drnicolabird.com.